Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is looking to raise his international profile ahead of a possible 2024 presidential run. DeSantis will be heading to Israel this Thursday after stops in Japan and South Korea as part of what he's called a trade tour, which has included meeting with the Prime Minister of Japan. He'll also be visiting the United Kingdom. Former President Trump is mocking DeSantis' trip as, quote, an emergency tour over what he calls his failing campaign. Julia Manchester, national political reporter for The Hill. Julia, watching this governor travel around in a very presidential way is something. The former president, though, saying no dice. It ain't a good look. Posting that DeSantis backers are, quote, considering sending Ron to the great Walter Reed Medical Center for an emergency personality transplant.
Yeah, Adrienne.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, definitely some shots fired.
The bickering.
Yeah, it's amazing, Adrienne, because, so first of all, you have Ron DeSantis in Japan, but you also have Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin in Taiwan this week, and you have these two potential 2020 GOP candidates who haven't even gotten in the race yet, but it seems like we're really off to the primary, and these two are very testing the waters. But moving back to Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump. Look, this is Donald Trump trying to define Ron DeSantis before Ron DeSantis can even get into the race. And look, we've seen Donald Trump do this in the past. He did it successfully in 2015, and that was how he took out each and every one of his GOP opponents in that very crowded primary. So what you're seeing is Donald Trump really trying to get a head start before DeSantis gets a chance to get into the race.
Yeah, well, the former president definitely known for smack talk, love him or hate him. DeSantis is catching some flack for some of his words. Listen to this.
Trump, any thoughts on that?
I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when that changes.
Wait a minute. Like, first of all, the body language, the wobble with me, wobble with me, wobble. I don't understand. Like, I need a body language expert on to talk about why he had to move around so much, uncomfortably so, after being asked about him failing in polls compared to former President Trump. If he were to run, how can he just brush that off? He's going to Japan, the UK, and Israel.
Yeah, and Adrienne, you're absolutely right. It's an uncomfortable situation for DeSantis because he's very much clearly positioning himself for a run, or at least trying to build his national and international profile. So when you're on this tour, the last thing you want to be asked is, you know, you're falling behind in the polls. How do you react to that? On top of that, this follows what was a really bad week for Ron DeSantis last week. He made his return to Washington. As we know, he's a former congressman, but as he was getting to Washington, we had a number of Florida members of the Florida delegation, Republicans, formally throwing their support behind Donald Trump. The timing, on Trump's part was impeccable in many ways because it made DeSantis look like he was caught flat-footed in a way. So it's an awkward situation for him. However, look, next week we could be in a very different situation. Remember, in November, when DeSantis performed very well in the midterms, we were all saying that he was the heir apparent to the Republican nomination.
Not all of us were saying that. Some of us were saying that, but some of us were saying, oh, no, I don't know. I don't know. Don't get too big for your britches. On the Democratic side, I got to ask you real quick, Julia, about President Biden saying stay tuned. And now he is definitely declared as running, obviously this morning, making those headlines. Does this change anything? I mean, this was not a surprise.
This was not a surprise at all. However, it shows that Biden is officially in re-election mode. And we'll have to see what his campaign looks like this time around. Remember, the first time we saw, or the last time, I should say, we saw Joe Biden hit the presidential campaign trail, he was actually campaigning in a virtual manner because of the coronavirus pandemic. So this will definitely be a different campaign this time around. But he also has the power of the bully pulpit and the incumbency of the presidency. So it'll be interesting to see how he utilizes those tools.
Yeah, can he leverage that over the criticism he has over being too old and maybe not mentally there to run for office again. Julia Manchester, thank you as always. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.